I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 wrenches in my top drawer of my Snap-on box. I think I'm missing. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pliers in my bottom drawer of my Snap-on box. Get ready to fix some cars. Get ready to fix. Let's go. All right, what's up, guys? This is MJ. I'm so tired today. I just finished a job doing some deck boards for somebody. This took forever. I should have charged way more, but next time I'll charge some more. Anyway, today I'm going to do a mechanic story time. I'm going to try to just share some stuff real quick. I do have some really cool videos coming up in the future. I got to do all the struts on my Camry and get it aligned. Well, I'm going to take it to the alignment shop for that, but I'm going to do the struts. So I'm going to do a video for that. And then I'm going to start doing some more repair videos for the Camry. I want to get it back in shape. So I'm going to do the fuel pump, starter, all kind of stuff. You know, I just want to do it before it breaks. I want to go try to get this as many miles on the Camry as possible. I want to get it up to like 1 million one day. I'm only at 210,000. So I got a while to go. But I feel like I'm the man for the job. So I'm going to try to get it to 1 million. So we'll see what happens. Anyway, oh, and also I'm going to do a couple more videos for the house. I've been doing a lot of work on the house. The reason being, like, I only got the bathroom done right now because I've been, like, sitting on my butt doing nothing. Well, I go to work and then I come home and just sit around. But one of my friends, I hadn't heard from them in a while, and I heard that they were up to getting involved in some very bad stuff. And I was really sad about it. And I even prayed to God to help them. And it looked like my prayers are answered. They're coming back on the right track. And they called me and they were like, hey, can you help me? I want to learn the box. And I was like, cool, yeah, I could teach you. Like, because I used to have a boxing gym. I made a little boxing gym in my garage in my first house. So I used to train my friends in there, you know, just working them out and teaching them how to box. Because in Philly, I used to box. So I like to train people how to box if they want to learn. So yeah, I'm going to do that. I mean, it's free. It inspires me to get in shape. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. But I got to get the garage fixed up. I mean, I don't know if you saw the video of when I first got my house, but the garage was a disaster. So I had to redo all the drywall, and then I got to hang the punching bags. And so I get up in the morning, I work on the house for like 2-3 hours, go to work, come home, work on the house again for 3-4 hours, and I've just been exhausted. So, all right, that's enough jibber jabber. We are going to get to the point today. This is mechanic story time. So this is the story of the time when a customer called the cops on me. Yes, that actually happened. A customer called the cops on me as a mechanic right after I worked on their car. And let me tell you why. So this is the scene, right? This is my first mechanic job in Philly, in West Philly, working at this place called Strauss Auto. They also used to be called R&S Strauss. It's basically just a ghetto version of Pep Boys. And they're out of business now, I believe, because everybody was stealing from the store. Like, the people that worked there were stealing, the customers were stealing, everybody was stealing everything that wasn't nailed down. I mean, I wasn't stealing, like the mechanics weren't stealing, but, well, one of them was, but all the other people were stealing. It was ridiculous. So this is ghetto Pep Boys, right? And this guy came in, I think it was like maybe a Mitsubishi Mirage or a Subaru Legacy, something like that. And it was no brakes in this car, right? It was for a brake inspection. So I do the brake inspection. The calipers the car has no brakes, basically. So we had to push the car in. They drove it into the shop barely, like using the emergency brake, which you shouldn't do. And so I inspect the car. The calipers were like frozen. Like, you know, the calipers, they're basically like, they're squeezing the brake pads, right? So they were just stuck in place, and the pads were completely rusted. The rotors were rusted. The pads were bad. So I was like, all right, complete front brakes new calipers, new rotors, new pads. I wrote it down. They said, my service writer said, oh, okay, they approved it. So I do all this work, right? And I do all this work, and then the customer calls like, I didn't tell you to do that. I told you that I couldn't afford it. And they're like, what? So I'm like, oh man, what is going on? So I just leave the car in the bay, and the guy comes up like, look, you gave me my car back. I can't afford. I didn't want the job. And the service writer was like, you told me to do it. And he's like, no, I didn't. So they're going back and forth. I'm like, oh my gosh. So they're like, all right, man, just put my old brakes back on, and then I'll leave. I'm not paying for that. And I was like, look, I don't care if you pay for something or not, but I'm not putting broken brake parts back on a car. Like, I'm just not doing it. And he's like, well, I drove in there like that. I was like, yeah, barely. It's like, you barely got into the parking spot. Okay. And you shouldn't be driving with the emergency brake anyway. It's not even, they don't even call it an emergency brake anymore. They call it a parking brake, but it's just a thin little wire that's barely pulling the rear drums to brake the car. You know, you can't drive around like that. You're going to run into somebody. You're going to hurt somebody. You're going to hurt yourself. She's like, well, he's like, I'm calling the cops because you go give my car back. So I'm like, I was like, go ahead and call the cops. It's like, I don't care. I want you to call the cops. In the mechanic world, there's something called cover your ass. So you got to cover it. You got to make sure that there's always documentation, or anytime you get into a discrepancy or argument with a customer, anytime you tell them something safety related, you have to make sure that it's documented, because you don't want people coming back. You don't want them getting into an accident and then saying, oh yeah, the mechanic, oh, he told me I could drive. I'd be like, no, I didn't. So anyway, they call the cops. The cops come, and we're going back and forth, and they're like, well, look, he said he didn't order the repair. And I was like, look, I don't care if you pay for the repair or not. I could care less. I'm going to get paid either way. But my hands are not putting broken calipers back on the car so you could barely drive out of here. So the cops came up with a good idea. They were like, well, look, it's like, if his friend puts some tow hooks on him and just drags him out of there like that. And I was like, fine, go ahead. And I gave him his parts back in a box because I wasn't putting them back on. I was like, they're your parts, you take them back. But I'm not putting them back on. So anyway, I gave him his brake calipers and pads. We took the new rotors and calipers off and just let everything dangle. And, and pushed his car out. And he had tow hooks. His friend had an SUV and dragged them back. And I was like, well, worst come to worst, if his emergency brake doesn't work, he's probably just going to run into the back of his friend's SUV. That's probably be the worst that'll happen. They're probably just going to drive slow until he gets back to his house. So anyway, that's what they did. And the moral of the story is, you can't always do what the customer asks you to do, because sometimes they ask you to do something ridiculous, and you have to cover your ass. You can't just do anything they ask you to do. Well, one other time, they came to that same place, and they said, oh, can you loosen the axle nut for me? My friend is doing a repair for me, and he can't get the axle nut off, and to change my axles. I was like, well, he said he doesn't have a tool. I was like, well, if I loosen it, like, how are you going to tighten it back once you do the axle? He's like, oh, well, he has the tool to tighten it. He doesn't have the tool to loosen it. I was like, it's the same tool. Like, I'm not loosening that. No, you got to get out of here. Like, I think that guy wanted to sabotage somebody's car, or it was a minivan. So I was like, I'm not getting involved in that. It's just, customers will ask you to do ridiculous stuff. So that's the moral for if you're a mechanic. And if you're not a mechanic, the moral is, mechanics don't have to do everything you ask them to do. Okay? They might not be qualified to do a certain repair, or they might just not have the tool, or they might just think that it's a dumb idea, like just loosening the axle nut for no reason. So, imagine you go into a doctor's office, and you say, and you could just tell the doctor what to prescribe you. You're like, oh, give me some Lipitor, give me some Vasotrex or whatever. And you can't do that. You have to tell them your problem, then the doctor tells you what you get for it. So yeah, you can't just go around asking mechanics to do anything, because we're just not going to do it. And mechanics don't just do everything the customer asks you to do either. You know, that's the way it is. So anyway, hope you enjoyed Mechanic Story Time. Hit me up in the comments if you want to see some more Mechanic Story Times. And thank you, and have a good one.